Hello, future CPAs! Welcome to our Basic Accounting webinar or Basic Accounting tutorial. This session is actually tailored for our ABM students and for our new or freshman accounting students. And also, this webinar will help you understand and strengthen your foundation in basic accounting. This webinar will also answer and clarify some accounting misnomers that most ABM students or accounting students know or believe. So, ika-clarify natin yan. And of course, tutulungan ko kayong intindihin palalo yung basic accounting mo. By the way, I am Alexandra, CPA CMA, your knowledge engineer for this webinar. Of course, without further ado, let us start our basic accounting webinar by looking at our learning objectives. Okay? Dito sa accounting webinar, pag-uusapan natin ang overview ng accounting mo. Also, your accounting theory and assumption. I only listed here 4. Ito yung 4 na famous accounting assumption that we have. Next, we will be differentiating your bookkeeping and accounting. Next, of course, we will be looking at your accounting equation. And pag-aaralan natin ano bang gamit ng accounting equation mo. Actually, that is very useful to you, especially if you are a new accounting student or if you are planning to take ABM at nakikinig ka ngayon. Okay? Next is the types of your account. Next is the normal account balances. Pag-uusapan rin natin yan. Second to the last is of course your chart of account, and the last part of this webinar will be about the double entry system. Okay? Let us start your accounting overview by defining what accounting is. And according to AICPA, accounting is the art of recording, classifying, summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions, and events which are in part at least of a financial character and interpreting the results thereof. If you will notice, you can actually dissect your accounting definition into different parts. And yan actually yung accounting cycle natin. And the accounting cycle will be tackled in a different webinar session. Alright? Unahin natin si recording. In accounting, you have what you call the process of recording. Dito sa recording mo, dito pumapasok yung analysis of transaction and your journalizing of the transaction. Number 1, you analyze the transaction. Anong ginagawa mo? You look at the transaction. Meron bang epekto sa asset, liabilities, or equity ng company? If yes, you do your journalize. Okay? Your journal entry. Ano yung journal entry mo? Ito yung book of original entry. Next one, when you go to classifying, dito mo ginagawa yung posting mo nung mga na-journalize mo going to your general ledger. So, kina-classify mo per account na nai-record mo, pupunta sa mga GL mo yan. So, isang GL para sa cash, isang GL para sa AR, and so on and so forth. Depende sa account, okay? So, magkakasama lahat yan. Lahat ng naka-debit sa cash, lahat ng naka-credit sa cash, makikita mo yan sa general ledger mo. Next one is your summarizing. In your accounting process, yung summarizing mo, dito papasok yung trial balance mo, adjusting entry, and of course your FS. Okay? So, sa summarizing mo, ang main product mo dito is your financial statement because your financial statement is actually the summary of all the transaction that the company undergo or have undergone during the accounting cycle or during the fiscal year or the calendar year. Okay? Next, kung titignan mo yung accounting definition mo, nakasulat dyan in terms of money. Bakit? Because all the things that you record, that you post, and that you summarize, lahat yon in terms of money, meaning quantitative items yan. And express yan in terms of your currency. Okay? So, kung naka-peso amount ka, or if you are here in the Philippines, naka-peso amount yung FS mo. Let's say your company is operating in USA, possible na naka-dollar amount naman yan. Depende kung saan nag-ooperate. Okay? And lastly is your interpretation of the result. So, after presenting your financial statement, whatever result there is, okay, number 1, you have your financial position, comprehensive income, your financial performance. Lahat yan ini-interpret ng users natin. And yung interpretation nila, pwede silang gumamit ng financial ratios. And papasok yan sa ating FS analysis. So that is your accounting definition. Actually, yung accounting definition mo by AICPA is also giving you a hint already of what is happening in an accounting cycle. Okay? Now, let's go to your accounting assumption or theories. Naglista lang ako dito ng 4 famous accounting theories na dapat mong tatandaan. Well, for the others, maybe you can read them, and yung iba naman, tinatakal yan when you go to your ABM studies o kaya naman during your accounting years already. But nonetheless, itakal natin tong 4 na nilista ko. Number 1 is the going concern assumption. Si going concern assumption, under your standards or under your conceptual framework, this is the assumption that is explicitly stated on your conceptual framework. Anong sinasabi ng going concern? Sabi ng going concern, it is assumed that during and beyond the next fiscal period, the company will still continue operating, meaning, ang nakikita ng company mo or ang vision ng company mo is tuloy-tuloy lang kayo mag-ooperate. Okay? Because if that's not the case, meaning ang concern nyo na is under a liquidating concern. There is a possibility na hindi na tuloy-tuloy or hindi na magtutuloy yung operation ng company. Now, in accounting, as long as you do or as long as you continue your accounting cycle, you are on a going concern basis. Next is the accounting entity assumption or theory. Under your accounting entity assumption, sinasabi naman dito na ang company mo, okay, is defined as a separate economic unit separate from its owners. So let us say meron kang partners, meron kang shareholders, yung corporation mo or yung partnership, meron siyang distinct personality or meron siyang distinct identity as compared to your partners or the owners. Next is the time period. In accounting, we are trying to divide your cycle into different period. So usually, ang periods na meron tayo, we have your quarterly, you have your monthly, and the most famous, you have your annually. Okay? Kaya ka nagre-report annually kasi nga, in accounting, we assume that there are different time periods. So annually, di ba, gumagawa ka ng financial statement mo, kaya ka gumagawa annually because we use the assumption that there are different accounting periods that we follow. Next, last one is your monetary unit. Under the monetary unit, in this principle, tinutukoy naman natin na lahat ng mga ginagawa natin sa accounting is in terms of money. Pwedeng naka-dollar, pwedeng naka-peso, pwedeng naka-Korean won, and the other currencies that you have. Of course, depende kung nasaang country si company natin. And if you notice, of course, nasa journal entry mo, you journalize the transaction. Ano yung journalize mo? You journalize the account and of course the amount. Okay? Ano yung pinopost mo? Yung amount ulit. Ano yung nasa FS mo? Yung amount. And nakasummarize na yun. So, in accounting, we are in a monetary unit assumption. Okay? Next one. You have your bookkeeping and accounting. Actually, your bookkeeping is only part of your accounting. Do not forget that one. Your bookkeeping refers to the process of recording the accounts or transaction of an entity. Meaning, yung bookkeeping, siya lang yung part na nag-journalize yung accountant natin or yung bookkeeper natin. And that is only part of your accounting kasi si accounting, siya yung whole process. Si accounting, it considers your recording, your classifying, summarizing, and analyzing or interpreting. Okay? So, si accounting, nandun sa kanya lahat ng process. Si bookkeeping, it's only one of the process of your accounting cycle. Okay ba tayo doon? Alright. Yun lang naman yung basic na dapat mong tandaan kasi minsan napagpapalit mo yung bookkeeping or accounting. But actually, your bookkeeping basically, yan lang yung part na nag-journalize ka ng transaction. Next, the most useful part of this webinar, your accounting equation. Alam mo ba na napakahalaga ng accounting equation mo, lalo na kung gusto mong malaman yung normal balances ng accounts? Yes, it is very much helpful. Again, balikan natin ang accounting equation mo. The accounting equation expresses that asset is equal to liability plus equity. Okay? On my illustration, nakasulat dyan stockholders' equity, but generally, pwede mong gamitin yung term na equity or capital. So, kahit alin dyan, pwede mong gamitin. Minsan, may mga nagtatanong na student, ma'am, pwede ko po pang gamitin yung term na capital? Of course, yes. It's only that, ibang term lang siya, but the content or the meaning is the same. So, pwedeng capital, pwedeng equity. What is your asset? Your asset are the items that are owned by the company. Those are your economic resources that have future economic benefit. Meaning, hawak-hawak mo siya today, magagamit mo siya in the future. Okay? Ano naman ang liability? Liability is your obligations of the company or the financial obligations or debt of a business. Ito yung mga utang ng company na dapat nating bayaran. And lastly is your equity or your capital. These are the claims of the owner, or this is the residue or the residual value of your asset after deducting your liabilities. Now, in your accounting equation, makakatulong to actually para malaman mo yung normal balances of your accounts. So, pupunta tayo dyan later on. But let us try to go to your debit and credit first. Maraming nagsasabi na kapag sinabi nilang debit is dagdag. Pag sinabi nilang credit, bawas. I just wanted to correct that conception because that is wrong. Okay? Bakit? Kasi hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon kapag debit, dagdag. Hindi rin sa lahat ng pagkakataon na kapag sinabi mong credit, bawas. Okay? Number 1, i-define muna natin ano ba si debit. Your debit came from the term deber or debitum, which means the value received. Okay? In your accounting equation and in your T account, your debit only means left side. So kung haharap ka dito sa monitor natin, gagawa ka ng T account, the debit is simply the left side. Ano naman ngayon yung credit? The credit came from the word creder or creditum, which means the value parted with. Ano yung kapalit nung nakuha mo or the value received? Yun yung ibig sabihin yan. Ngayon, kapag nag-drawing ka ng T account dito sa screen natin, your credit simply means your right side. Hindi ibig sabihin na credit ay bawas, hindi rin ibig sabihin na debit ay dagdag. Okay? Kindly erase that in your mindset. Okay? Kasi kung yan yung nasa isip mo ngayon, possible na onwards hanggang matapos mo yung accounting mo or basic accounting subject mo, hindi tama pala yung ginagawa mo. Okay? Alright. So that is your debit and credit. Now, the question na kung kailan ka magdadagdag or magbabawas, pag-uusapan ulit natin yan later on. Puntahan muna natin yung different types of accounts. You have different types of accounts. Number 1, you have your real account. Your real account are accounts that does not close at the end of each year. Anong mga example mo nito? The examples of this one are your balance sheet accounts. Okay? Ano yung mga balance sheet accounts mo? You have your asset, liabilities, and equity. Okay? Next one, you have your nominal accounts. Your nominal accounts are temporary accounts and are closed at the end of each accounting year. Meaning, for 2020 example, meron kang account, specific account. For the period, naka-accumulate ka ng 10,000 pesos. At the end of the year, kino-close mo yan on your real account. Meaning, at the start of the next year, zero balance ang starting point mo. Tapos, iipunin mo na naman lahat ng maa-accumulate na transaction on that specific account. Now, ano yung mga example ng nominal account natin? Ang example ng nominal account mo would be all of your income statement accounts. You have your revenue and your expense accounts. Okay? So again, real accounts, balance sheet items. Nominal accounts, income statement items. You also have additionally your personal accounts. Okay? Ano naman yung personal accounts mo? These are ledger accounts that contains transaction related to individual or organizations with whom your business has direct transaction. Ito naman, let us say you have AR. Pero yung AR mo, dinadissect mo pa siya into different items kasi meron kang AR from customer A, customer B, customer C. Ang tawag mo dito sa accounts na to is personal accounts. Okay? Pwede rin naman na from supplier. Assuming meron kang accounts payable. Those accounts payable are again divided into different items kasi meron kang payable to supplier A, supplier B, supplier C. Yung bawat account nilang yon ang tawag doon personal account. Okay? Next one, gusto kong idagdag dito sa accounts natin is your contra accounts. Ano naman yung contra accounts mo? Your contra accounts are accounts that are deducted to another related account. Ano naman yung example mo ng contra account? Number one example is your depreciation. Depreciation is deducted from your asset account, specifically your PPE, tama ba? Or your accumulated depreciation, I should say. What else? Your allowance for doubtful accounts. Allowance for doubtful accounts is deducted from your AR para makuha mo yung net realizable value. Next type of account na gusto kong idagdag is your adjunct account. Yung adjunct account naman, ito yung mga account na dinadagdag mo into another related account. Ano yung best example natin dyan? You have your freight in. Kapag bumili ka ng inventory, kasama sa cost ng inventory na binili mo, yung freight in or the cost of shipment papunta sa iyo. Or cost of shipment nung binili mo yung inventory. What else? You have your premium on bonds payable. Okay? Huwag ka mag-alala kasi mapag-uusapan naman natin or matatakal mo naman yan in your other basic accounting topics. So, mababalikan mo pa rin yan. Now, punta na tayo sa normal balances of your accounts. For the normal balances of your accounts, you have to go back to your basic accounting equation. And actually, on this slide, meron akong ginawang expanded basic accounting equation. Nandyan si asset is equal to liability plus capital plus revenue minus expense. Ngayon, kung mapapansin mo, dito sa right side mo, naka-minus yung expense. Ngayon, pwede mo siyang ilipat dito sa left side mo, okay? Para naka-positive siya. Now, itong accounting equation mo na to will be helpful para malaman mo ang normal balance ng account mo. I-define natin kung ano ibig sabihin ng normal balance. Kapag sinabi mong normal balance, that is the side where the balance of the account is normally found. And yun yung side kung saan mag-i-increase yung specific account. Now, I have also shown here or illustrated here the different T accounts of your asset, liability, revenue, capital, drawing, and expenses. Ibig sabihin, makikita mo dyan kung saan mo makikita ang normal balances ng asset, for example. Okay? The normal balance of your asset, ang pinaka-guide mo na lang dito is your basic accounting equation. In the accounting equation, saan mo ba siya nakikita? Sa left side. Okay? Therefore, kapag gumawa ka ng T-account ng asset mo, okay, or kahit hindi ka gumawa ng T-account ng asset mo, let's say mag-journalize ka, ano yung normal balance ng asset mo? It is debit or the left side. Diba ang debit mo, yun yung left side? How about your liability? Your liability and capital is found on the right side of your accounting equation. Therefore, their normal balances are credit. Nasa right side sila. Meaning, to increase your liability and to increase your capital, you will credit those account. Kay asset naman at saka kay expense, to increase those amount, you will debit the account. Ibig sabihin, gusto mong mag-increase ng asset mo, debit asset. Gusto mong mag-increase ng expense mo, debit expense. Kapag babawasan mo naman, i-credit mo sila. Si liability and capital, kapag dadagdagan mo, i-credit mo. Kapag babawasan mo, ide-debit mo. Okay? Ito ngayon yung explanation kung bakit hindi lahat ng debit ay dagdag at hindi lahat ng credit ay bawas. Kasi yung dagdag-bawas na yan, nakadepende yan sa normal balances ng accounts natin. Now, you can take a picture or you can take note of our normal balances here. Again, ano yung hint natin? Magagamit mo dito yung accounting equation mo. That's it. Yun lang yung kailangan mong i-memorize at isa-puso para malaman mo kung ano ba yung normal balances of your different accounts. Okay ba tayo doon? So again, alisin mo sa utak mo na kapag debit, dagdag. Alisin mo na rin sa utak mo na kapag credit, bawas because that is not true all the time. Next, punta tayo sa chart of accounts. Dati, nagkaroon ako ng tutorial, okay? Ang tanong sa akin na isa kong estudyante, Ma'am, minememorize po ba yung chart of accounts? What is my answer? My answer is no. Kasi ang chart of accounts mo, depende yan sa company. Ano bang chart of account? Your chart of account is only a list of all the accounts that is used by an entity. Okay? Saan nila ginagamit to? Kapag nagjo-journalize sila ng mga transaction na nangyayari sa company. Ngayon, itong chart of accounts na to, hindi mo kailangan i-memorize lahat yan. You only have to familiarize because in one company and in the other, hindi laging parehas. Okay? Let us say your expense accounts. Hindi lahat ng expense accounts ng isang company nandun din sa accounts ng another company. Okay? Pero, basically, kailangan mong i-familiarize kasi usually in one company, parehas na merong cash, parehas na merong notes receivable. And of course, ang kailangan mo dito is i-identify ano ba itong mga items na to. Kailangan mo silang intindihin. Ano si cash, ano si notes receivable, ano si AR. Okay? And para sa topic na yan, gagawa tayo ng separate webinar or session para itakal isa-isa yung items ng chart of accounts. So again, memorize ba yan? Hindi. Hindi mo kailangan i-memorize. Kailangan mo lang i-familiarize and malaman kung ano ba yung mga components niya. Kasi, independently, ikaw later on, kapag pumunta ka na sa higher accounting, kailangan mo rin ng source ng chart of accounts. And yung chart of account na yan, nasa utak mo na yan. Okay? Ano problema ko? Nagtuturo ba ka? Next, after your chart of accounts, natakal na natin ang accounting equation mo, punta tayo ngayon sa double entry system mo. Under your double entry system or your debit and credit rule or the rule of your debit and credit, sabi dito, in every accounting transaction, there is always a two-side effect. Meaning, sa isang transaction, dapat meron kang debit and meron ka ring credit. Okay? Meron kang i-record sa left side, meron kang i-record sa right side. Assuming umutang ako sa friend ko, okay? That is a transaction. Yung transaction na yun, kung i-record ko siya, it has a two-side effect. Meron akong debit, meron akong credit. Umutang ako. Ano yung na-receive ko? Cash. Nakautang ako ng cash or naka-receive ako ng cash. Debit, cash. That is the value received. Ano ngayon yung credit ko? Ano yung kapalit ng inutang ko? Kapalit nung nakuha kong pera today or cash na nakuha kong galing kay friend ko is the payable na kailangan kong bayaran in the future. So, credit, accounts payable. Yun yung gustong sabihin or yun yung gustong i-express ng double entry system natin. Okay? That in every transaction, there's always a two-side effect. Meaning, you have your debit and your credit. Alright? That is your double entry system. Now, your double entry system will be more appreciated as we go to your journal entries later on. So, syempre, si journal entries mo, bago mo magawa yan, dapat alam mo munang mag-analyze ng transaction. And habang mag-analyze ka ng transaction, i-check mo doon, anong accounts ba yung affected? Now, pag na-identify mo na yung account na affected, gagawin mo na yung journal entry mo, dito mo na may a-apply yung double entry system or yung rule of your debit and credit. Okay? So that ends our short webinar for this session. Now, what's next? Marami pa tayong next na pag-uusapan and I wanted to thank you for joining me in this video and for listening. Now, you can share this video. You can also like and subscribe to our channel. Okay? And of course, I am also inviting you to come with me para mag-conduct pa tayo ng mas marami pang basic accounting webinar. And also, abangan mo yung webinar natin for the chart of accounts, identify natin yung mga different accounts mo, abangan mo yung webinar natin for our journal entries, tuturuan kita kung paano mag-journalize and kung paano mag-analyze ng transaction and i-apply natin yung double entry accounting system mo. Okay? And many more. So thank you for joining and see you on our next webinar. Thank you and goodbye.